Coming up on Live at 4, a manhunt in Macomb has ended with the help of the U.S. Marshals and the Macomb Police Department. We have the details. Also, will the weather be frightful this Halloween? News 3's Nicholas Stewart has your trick-or-treat forecast. And it's a close race for the governor's seat in Illinois. News 3 begins our campaign 2014 coverage right now.
Live from Saline Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
A wanted child sex offender is now in police custody after being caught in Macomb. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Shanae Glasgow.
And I'm Brody Waddell. The Macomb Police Department announced it was searching for Christopher Cawthon earlier today on Facebook. The Illinois Sex Offender Registry says Cawthon fled the previous address given on his registration without notification. Macomb police say he's wanted on warrants and registration violations. Cawthon was originally charged for criminal sexual abuse of a victim aged 13 to 17. He's had several registration violations in recent years. The U.S. Marshals and Macomb police were involved in Cawthon's arrest.
In less than a week, Illinoisans will begin to have an idea of who will head the state for the next 4 years.
All eyes are on Springfield as Pat Quinn and Bruce Rauner complete the final leg of their campaigns for the governor's office.
Thanks, Shanae. Brody. We're here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race, which is occurring in just a few days here. Now, this race is going to be on the ballot for voters across the state. And as is the case with these sorts of elections, there still is a bit of confusion on where the candidates stand on certain issues. After a lengthy and costly campaign, Election Day is just 5 days away. And despite all the publicity, many voters are still undecided, be it wariness of the candidates.
I don't think Pat Quinn's really done a good job, and I don't think Bruce Rauner is really the right candidate for it.
Uncertainty on the issues.
Pension reform is still unsolved.
Or lack of preparation.
Could you have followed him maybe a little bit more?
Yeah, I could probably search online more.
In all reality, it's very understandable why voters are unsure where incumbent Governor Pat Quinn and Republican challenger Bruce Rauner stand on the issues. Analysts predicted campaigns filled with negativity and personal attacks, and their predictions were spot on.
The Quinn campaign, what they're trying to do in terms of frame Rauner is not one of you, he doesn't understand you, and then they are putting out a lot of ads that question his business practices. Rauner is trying to do is talk change and paint Quinn as a failure and just another Illinois politician.
With the Quinn and Rauner campaigns in the home stretch, one important factor may decide who gets the key to the governor's mansion.
It's a very tight race, probably going to be a turnout war.
And with Election Day coming up just in a few days on the 4th, if you're still a little confused about where you'll be going to vote, you can head to elections.il.gov for polling location information. Here at the Capitol for News 3, I'm Johnny Caput.
Thanks, Johnny. Our Campaign 2014 coverage continues Tuesday from Springfield. News 3's Mario Calero takes a look at how campaign spending may affect this year's election results.
Emily Manley reports from Macomb on the projected low turnout by youth voters. News 3 will live stream our Tuesday show on our YouTube page and our website, news3wiu.com. Coverage starts live at 4. Macomb Mayor Mike Inman is looking for someone to fill the First Ward Alderman position. The First Ward seat is currently vacant after Ryan Hansen resigned earlier this month. Nomination petitions for the position are now available in the city clerk's office. The First Ward is the northwest section of Macomb, which is north of Adams Street and west of Western Avenue. The ward also includes Spring Lake Park. Petitions will be filed from November 17th to November 24th, with the election taking place this upcoming April. Early voting is continuing across the state, and those wanting a head start on the election can vote through November 2nd. Voting is taking place in the McDonough County Courthouse. You must bring a copy of your photo ID to register.
Over 500 runners came out to show their support on the 18th of October for the Fallen Soldiers 5K. After the race was over, everything was fine until 2 days ago. Lieutenant Colonel Mick Cumbie, the Director of Development for Fine Arts and Communication, caught wind that 30 flags were stolen. And this wasn't the first time that flags have been stolen from this race. Last year, 12 were taken, but the theft was kept quiet, so the focus wasn't taken away from the run. This time, however, Cumbie reported the theft to the police and has a message for those that stole the flags.
Well, best case, I hope it's a prank gone wrong, and perhaps folks weren't thinking in the moment. Worst case is it's a terrible act of malicious theft. But what I would say to them is, I'd invite them to the run next year, and I'd have them sit with the families. Colonel Baldwin's family and Captain Dobeguy's family, and feel the power of the moment and what we're trying to do with the Fallen Soldier Run.
News 3 will have more from Mick Cumby on Tuesday. The Office of Public Safety is investigating 2 incidents of vandalism over the weekend. On October 26th, someone reported that the glass panel at the Adams and Charles Street bus shelter was shattered by a BB gun. The damage was estimated at $500, and this is still under investigation. Another BB gun incident regarding the exterior window pane of the University Union had been broken, which was estimated to be $800. OPS says they do not believe the 2 incidents were related.
The only survivor from a triple fatal car crash is still in serious condition at OSF St. Francis Medical Center in Peoria. When News 3 checked on Justin Beer's condition earlier this week, it was reported that he was in fair condition. But after a check this morning, Beer is again listed in serious condition. Moving to weather, as we get farther into the fall season, the weather is colder and many have brought out their rain boots and their hoodies. News 3's Nicholas Stewart has more in his first forecast. Nick?
Right now we're looking at some pretty partly cloudy skies right now. The sun has made its way through. We had some few breaks. That's going to continue to move in through the overnight hours. We are tracking a storm that's approaching, however, that will change all that. We'll have more on that in a couple of minutes, though. But right now we're dealing with temperatures in the mid-50s, 54 right now in Macomb. Yeah, we did mention we are looking at the clearing moving into Macomb. McDonough County right here. Clearing is coming in from northern Missouri, southern Iowa. This will continue to push east. All the rain fell off to our south and off to our north. We had a few sprinkles in the early morning hours, but all the rain activity stayed well to our south, so we stayed fairly dry. Temperature-wise, we're pretty much across the mid-50s, except Galesburg, which is pretty cool, only at 46 degrees. But Macomb's at 54, Burlington at 55, Keokuk up to 59. Looking at a colder Halloween up ahead, we'll have your full forecast in just a couple minutes. Back to you.
Thanks, Nick. Halloween trick-or-treating starts tonight in Macomb. The hours for trick-or-treating are 6 to 8 p.m. Kids also have the opportunity to trick-or-treat tomorrow night, Halloween night, 2 night of the Halloween celebration. The City of Macomb asks residents to please leave their porch lights on if they wish to hand out treats. A WIU favorite event is back this Halloween weekend, and students are freaking out over the excitement. News 3's Sarah Despain has more.
These might look like scenes from a horror film, but in fact, they're happening right here at Western. The annual Haunted Thompson is back, and RAs are ready to scare students. Some are so scared they don't want to go through it alone.
Yeah, literally walked around my floor and was like, who's coming with me tonight because I'm scared.
So my videographer Brian and I decided to join in on fun and see how scared we could get.
The butcher's going to get you. The butcher's going to get you tonight. The butcher. Dinner's gonna be great.
While we were just getting started with our tour, some students were happy their adventures were over.
It was a lot of fun. It was a very, very fun time.
Were you scared?
It was very interesting.
But even if being scared isn't for you,
God.
you can still show your support by donating to the fundraisers.
One of the items that we're selling are these bracelets, and then the second item we're selling are these t-shirts. On the front it says Haunted Housing 2014, and then on the back it says Not Even Rocky Can Save You.
Haunted Thompson costs $5 to get in, or $3 with any canned goods. The canned goods will be donated to families in need.
200 people have made it to the haunted house this year, which is pretty awesome considering it's only been 3 days. However, we can't say how many people have made it out. There is no guarantees. In fact, that reminds me, where's my videographer, Brian?
Brian. Reporting for News 3, I'm Sarah Despain.
Haunted Thompson Hall will be open tonight from 7 to 11 p.m. and will also be open tomorrow night.
Ghosts and goblins will invade local neighborhood streets starting tonight. And while Halloween is fun, it does pose some dangers. We have some steps you can take to make sure your Halloween is a safe one. The National Traffic Highway Safety Administration reports that Halloween ranks in the top 3 days of the year for pedestrian-related accidents in the U.S. 48% of those accidents involve a drunk driver. So if you are driving, be smart, avoid driving through neighborhoods, drive slowly, and if you plan to drink, make sure you have a designated driver.
Coming up in 2 minutes on News 3 Live at 4. 4 have gone missing in a plane crash just outside an airport in Kansas.
And the Chicago reporter has been quarantined in his home for more than 20 days. The details after the break.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up.
That's me, Joe Decker, owner of San Diego-based Gut Check Fitness, Guinness Book of World Record holder, World's Fittest Man, and WIU graduate. There are a few things that have helped me get to the top of my industry. Growing up on a farm in the Midwest, serving in the U.S. military, and graduating from WIU. This is my story. What will your success story be?
Campaign 2014, continuing coverage online, news3wiu.com.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Sinead Glasgow, Brody Waddell, weather with meteorology major Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Tyler Eddy. Live at 4 continues.
The search continues for 4 missing people in a small plane crash in Kansas. The plane crashed into a building across the street from the Mid-Continent Airport in Wichita, Kansas. According to the Wichita Fire Marshal, the crash claimed the lives of 4 people, along with 5 injured and 4 others remain missing. The crash is still under investigation.
We're grateful at this point that a large number of people appeared to have gotten out of the building, but certainly saddened by the loss of life and anybody that might have been hurt.
Firefighters have the fire at the building under control and are now looking for more victims. FAA investigators say the twin-engine plane lost an engine upon takeoff. Police are investigating the death of 5 family members in the town of Springville, Utah. Benjamin and Christy Strack, along with their 3 children, were found dead inside the parents' bedroom on September 27th. Christy's mother, Valerie, was the first person to find the victims in bed. Originally, police thought the deaths were caused by a carbon monoxide leak. Officers reported that a cup of liquid was found next to each of the family members. Court documents suggest that the family may have consumed a deadly combination of drugs before dying.
Chicago journalist Marcus DiPaola is being monitored for Ebola. DiPaola was recently in West Africa covering the Ebola story. He says he has no symptoms and continues to check his temperature while being quarantined. According to the journalist, he wasn't in contact with anyone ill while at the treatment centers. He can come and go as he pleases, see visitors, and even take the train. According to DiPaola, he was told last week that Chicago officials would contact him, but it took them 9 days to reach out to him. Jeff Taylor, the small forward for the Charlotte Hornets, has been sentenced to 18 months of probation. Taylor pled guilty on 2 accounts such as domestic assault and battery. CNN says that Taylor assaulted his girlfriend and caused damage to a Marriott hotel in Michigan. The NBA player has been suspended and must complete a 26-week batterer's intervention program. He also must enter an outpatient alcohol treatment program as part of his probation.
Coming up in the next 2 minutes, Nick will tell us if we need a coat for the Halloween weekend.
The trick-or-treat forecast is next.
Stories. They happen everywhere. At News 3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. A
Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us, the stories that move us, the stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
News 3 means to me an amazing experience. Being able to work with seniors, it's given me the experience and the knowledge and getting to know more about writing and becoming a better writer. Being able to be an anchor and do what I want to do in life. I don't want to leave. I'm not ready yet. I don't think there are words to describe how thankful I am for everything that everybody has given me and taught me while I'm here at Western.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
News 3 is your home for local coverage of Campaign 2014 with full analysis and reports from Macomb and Springfield. Tune in on Election Day live at 4 and online, news3wiu.com.
Clouds are clearing in Macomb right now. We can kind of get a nice look at the Macomb Square as the sun is shining. We're at 54 degrees, only 63% humidity. That kind of helped prevent a lot of the rain from falling later on or earlier on today. But again, right now we're looking at pretty calm conditions wind-wise as well. Looking at the current satellite radar composite, showers are starting to form off to our east, but the main shower activity is formed well off to our south. We had a few sprinkles kind of earlier on in the morning, but right now we're looking at mainly clear skies moving in from northern Missouri, southern Iowa. But we have a major storm system kind of heading towards our direction. More on that in a moment. But temperature-wise, we're in the low 50s pretty much across all of Illinois. Davenport 50, Chicago at 50, Des Moines at 63. Go further south and west, got Joplin sitting at 70 degrees. Warmer temperatures out to our southwest. Unfortunately, that's not coming our way. As we look at the current surface map, we're going to be having a clipper system move on through the overnight hours into tomorrow. This can produce a lot of cloud cover, also a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity further off to our east. We're even looking at a chance for some snow activity across Indiana. It's not major accumulation, but we could be looking at a couple inches here and there, especially even the lake effect. But the big story is going to be the cold temperatures coming in behind, also the pressure difference between this high pressure off to our east and this big ridge of high pressure off to our west. The pressure difference is going to create some pretty strong winds and some cooler temperatures. Look at the lows tonight. We're going to drop down to the 30s, 31 degrees tonight in Macomb, 32 in the Quad Cities. Colder temperatures off to our north and east. That's unfortunately, or north and west, and unfortunately that's what's heading our way. Bigger story with the Clipper system is also the strong wind it's going to bring us. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts tomorrow. Quad Cities also at 40 miles per hour. Chicago could be looking at gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour, looking at some big wave action on Lake Michigan. And again, all this wind blowing straight down Lake Michigan, that's going to give your lake effect snow potential, especially right along the lakefront. But Friday night for your Halloween trick-or-treating, if you're outside, make sure to bundle up. It's not only going to be windy, it's also going to be cold. Temperatures only in the 20s, 28 in Macomb, 28 in the Quad Cities as well. Forecast-wise, we're going to have a big area of high pressure moving Saturday. That'll clear our cloud cover, so we're going to look at pretty nice conditions on Saturday. And temperature-wise, we're going to warm up only to about the mid-50s. For tonight, we'll get down to about 34, mostly cloudy, gust upwards at 20 miles per hour. For your Halloween forecast, 43, windy, mostly sunny skies. Again, that windy condition, gusting upwards to 40 miles per hour. And your 5-day forecast, not much improvement as we go through the weekend. 50 only on Sunday, 59 on Monday, but we get the next storm system moving on Tuesday. Macro temperatures down just a little bit, and we'll have a chance of rain. So enjoy your weekend, guys, and it'll be a little, just make sure you bundle up.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the 40-mile-an-hour winds and 28 tomorrow night. I don't think anybody's going to want to go out.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty painful.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Tyler's in Next to Sports. He'll have a preview of the men's soccer game against Oral Roberts, and the Macomb volleyball team closes out their season.
The WIU basketball programs show off their talents at Leatherneck Madness, and the Western Illinois tennis courts receive a facelift.
Thank you, dear. You're very supple. It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Don't worry. The 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, that's me, Sammy Marshall, a junior exercise science major at Western Illinois University, shortstop on the Leatherneck softball team, and Summit League Player of the Year. At Western, I take my GPA just as seriously as I take my batting average. My experiences with faculty, my coaching staff, and the community are helping shape my future in exercise science. This is my story. What will your success story be?
When the big stories strike, count on award winners to provide you intimate and in-depth coverage. On the air and online. Local news, fresh perspective.
Hello, Western Illinois. The season for the Macomb Bomber volleyball team has certainly been a roller coaster. Tuesday night was no different as they took on the top-seeded Limestone Rockets in the Class 3A regionals in Galesburg. The Bombers showed early life to start the night, but would let the Rockets blast off. Limestone took a two-set sweep of the Orange and Black, 25-18 and 25-12. Offensively, the Bombers kept up with the Rockets, but the Limestone attack was too much on the transition for Macomb. There were some bright spots on the Macomb side. Jenna Kelso led the defense with 14 digs, and Mia Lambert tallied 4 blocks while racking up 12 assists. Jensen Protzman led the Bomber attack with 4 kills. The Western Illinois men's soccer shutout streak was snapped over the weekend after a tie against IUPUI. Saturday, the Leathernecks will take on Oral Roberts University in an effort to continue their unbeaten streak to 9 games on the year. Saturday will also mark Senior Day for the Purple and Gold at John McKenzie Alumni Field. The men's team is currently sitting pretty atop the Summit League standings and have already clinched a berth in the league tournament. A win over Oral Roberts would give Western Illinois a good chance of winning the Summit League regular season title, and they would play as host to the 2015 tournament. Saturday's game will mark the 23rd meeting between the Golden Eagles and WIU in program history. The Leathernecks lead the all-time series 13-7-2. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. The Western Illinois tennis teams have received a big upgrade. The Western Illinois Athletic Department has unveiled 8 brand new tennis courts. The courts are located next to Brophy Hall and Mary Ellen McKee Softball Stadium. The courts were resurfaced with 100% acrylic material and painted, of course, purple. The surface upgrade was the final piece of other renovations that included new nets, windscreens, and scoring systems. 7. That's the number of days Western Illinois basketball fans have to wait to see college basketball right here in Macomb. Tuesday night, the Western Illinois basketball programs showed off some of their skills for fans at Leatherneck Madness and gave a preview of what to expect this season. Players and coaches from both teams held a three-point shooting contest and even a slam dunk contest. Senior guard Remy Roberts-Burnett won the dunk contest, and the women's team dominated the three-point affair. Women's coach J.D. Gravina and men's coach Billy Wright spoke to fans and thanked them for their support. The women's team starts their exhibition season next Thursday at Western Hall against William Jewell at 7 p.m. And you know it's fall as temperatures start to drop and baseball is still being played in late October. Last night was Game 7 of the World Series and also signified the end of the baseball season. Top of the first, Buster Posey with a broken back grounder to third. Mike Moustakis makes the diving stop and throws out Posey at first. Great play by Moustakis. Bottom third, tied at 2. Man on first for Eric Hosmer, who grounds up the middle, but Joe Panic, he doesn't panic here. Makes the great stop and glove flip to second for the force out, and the Giants nearly turn a double play. Top 4, same score. Runners on the corners for Michael Morse, who breaks his bat, but hits a bloop single to right, and Pablo Sandoval scores all the way from third base, 3-2 Giants. And Madison Bumgarner comes in the game now in relief in the 7th, and he would strike out Omar Infante to end the inning. And that was it. Bottom 9 now, Royals down to their last out. Alex Gordon. He would line one into center field, and Gregor Blanco can't handle it. That goes all the way to the wall. Blanco with the error. Gordon winds up on third. Blanco can't believe it. Now it's up to Salvador Perez. He pops up into foul territory, and Pablo Sandoval would glove it right here. And the San Francisco Giants win their 3rd World Series title in 5 years. And Giants pitcher Madison Bumgarner was named the World Series MVP. Guys, that's all the time we got for sports.
All righty. Well, thank you, Tyler. Coming up after the break.
One small town family in McDonough County takes Halloween to a new level.
My name is Patrick Magoon, and I have the privilege of serving as the President and Chief Executive Officer of Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. I'm also a very proud alumni of Western Illinois University. It gave me the foundation I needed to build a very successful career. That's my story. What will your success story be?
We service and strengthen our schools and our communities.
News 3 is your home for local coverage of Campaign 2014 with full analysis and reports from Macomb and Springfield.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
It's important that we come together and help families out.
All legislators should be public servants.
Tune in on Election Day live at 4 and online, news3wiu.com.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Call this free government program for the option that's right for you.
Good Hope residents Sarah and Brad Payne have been running a free haunted house out of their garage for the past 4 years.
The Paynes will be here tomorrow on Good Morning Macomb to give us the inside scoop as to why they started this family tradition.
And you know, News 3 is actually going tonight to the haunted house.
I don't do haunted houses.
I'm kind of nervous.
Well, being scared. Oh my goodness.
I have work. Sorry.
That's his excuse, but I'm still nervous.
I stick to the fun holidays.
See, yeah. But.
Jeez, scared me there.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
This is nice. Got News 3, Pumpkin, and that's going to be happening at the Pumpkin Launch.
Pumpkin Launch tomorrow at 3 o'clock at Vince Grady Field.
That I might actually go for.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
And Nick, you have your
Yep, and then temperature tomorrow is going to be pretty chilly out there if you're trick-or-treating, only going to be in the upper 40s, but very windy conditions out there.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. For Nicholas Stewart, I'm Shanae Glasgow.
And for Tyler Eddy, I'm Brody Waddell. We'll stay on top of your news overnight and bring you the latest updates on news3wiu.com.
Tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for Good Morning Macomb. Have a good evening.